All right, we'll start the session now. Namaste, namaskar, greetings all the way from New Delhi, India. Thank you so much for taking out this time and joining in this effort of directing our entire attention towards ourselves in this act of meditation. Before I start this whole session again, I will give my regards, my greetings, my gratitude to all the people who are working in this time of quarantine, doctors, nurses, all the social workers, people who are bringing us our food, cleaning the streets. I'm highly grateful to all of them because they're putting their lives at risk against a pandemic that we do not know much about. So, at least for the next few months, Namaste or Namaskar should be the way to go forward so that we can at least maintain social distance with all our loved ones. And also, this is a great way of bowing down and just kind of respecting the energy of the universe in the person that you're greeting. So, happily going forward, I think we should be using more of Namaste. Thank you, Augustino, for joining us. Thank you, Helena. Thank you for joining us. Again, I'll quickly start this topic by asking if you have any questions that you might want to kind of want me to talk about. Otherwise, I'll just talk about a couple of questions that I received on email. And Kevin, as far as the nose is concerned, nasal irrigation is a good way to work on it. You can look it up online, you can Google it, you can send us an email, we'll give you more directions. Basically, you use salt water to move it through one nose and it comes out of another nose. So what happens is it cleans up your sinus. That's a great way of opening up the nose. Or until the time you are having any kind of nose blockage, try not to do pranayam because pranayam becomes more difficult that way. So one of the questions that I was asked was, how often should we meditate? You know, it's great that you are teaching meditation, but how often should we meditate? To answer this question, my answer would be, if you can't do much, at least meditate once a day. Quarantine is a great time to take this opportunity to look inwards. I've talked in my last session about the 8 legs of yoga. I've talked about how even before we start to meditate, it's very important for us to withdraw our attention from everything outside back inside. This in itself is a leg or practice of yoga called pratyahara. Okay, so even while you do not have the live meditation going on, it's very important for you to take out time for yourself. When you are meditating, you're not meditating to let others know that you're meditating. When you're doing yoga, you're not doing yoga to let others know that you have been doing yoga. But this is your own private time for your own self. Not for your boyfriend, not for your girlfriend, not for your children, not for your parents. But this is the time that you have to dedicate in life for yourself. If we do not take out time for ourselves, then we have absolutely no right to complain for anything that happens in our life. Throughout our life, from the birth until now, we have been busy looking outside. We have been busy looking outside. We have been busy looking outside. When we are doing meditation, this is the only time that consciously we start looking inwards. The only other time that we actually look inwards is when we are suffering. If I get hurt, if I get diseased, if I am sick, that's the only time I ask the question, why me? Why is it happening to me suddenly? Okay. So either through meditation or through suffering, life is teaching us to look inwards. Because in today's times, we are too busy looking outside all the time. Unfortunately, with the coming of cell phones, unfortunately, with coming of media, 4G, 5G, we are always engaged in our attention outside of ourselves all the time. All the time, we have something to engage our mind with. So from that perspective, it's very, very important that we take the time out for ourselves. We take the time out for purifying the mind of all the impurities that we have collected by distracting ourselves outside all the time. So to answer the question, how often should I meditate? We should meditate every single day. If you want to go deeper, it's always good to do twice a day. But if you cannot do it twice a day, no problem. At least take out half an hour to 1 hour every day just for yourself. Like physical health, it is also very important that the mind should also be emptied. There must be a time in the day when you are not engaging yourself in fresh emotions or thoughts. You should be able to release whatever you have consumed until now. So it's very important that when it comes to the question of how often should I meditate, at least once a day. If you want to go a little deeper, I would suggest twice a day. If that's not possible, at least once a day is definitely very, very good. 30 minutes is very good. If you can dedicate more time, 1 hour is also very good. Okay. How to meditate? There is a very good reason why we keep uploading these live calls and we don't delete the videos afterwards. Please use the video. We also have a YouTube channel. Go on. Use the video and take this time to meditate even when the live video call is not happening. Okay. Another question that I received from the last time was meditation is quite good, we learn not to react, but what do I do in real life when I am facing a certain emotion? If I am feeling very angry or if I am having some other experience of emotion, how should I behave? How can this meditation help me when I am experiencing real life emotions? Okay. So whenever we are experiencing real life emotions or real life situations where we are experiencing a lot of anger or we are extremely emotional, the only way to deal with that is instead of jumping into the act of reacting, somebody says something bad and I want to abuse them. Instead of abusing them, the first thing we must do is go back on the breath. If you feel you are getting angry, if you feel that you're getting upset, the only and the first thing, the best thing to do is start observing the breath. Start observing, how does this make me feel? While you're observing the breath, keep observing your feelings, but keep observing the breath. And while we are observing the breath, what is one of the biggest things to remember? I'll just observe the breath. No reaction. So it is very important to understand that while we are doing a meditation like Vipassana, we have to kind of start extending this meditation, not just in the time period that we are meditating, but to every moment of our life. We have to learn to first observe ourselves and then act. There's a lot of difference between acting, which is conscious action, and reacting, which is subconscious reaction. Whenever we come across something pleasant or unpleasant, the mind immediately evaluates it and releases a sensation. The sensation could be good or bad. If the sensation is good, we end up with a lot of craving. I wish this could continue. If the sensation is not bad, we immediately generate a sensation of aversion. I don't like it. I don't want it anymore. I want to do something to stop it. Buddha realized that the whole suffering of human beings lies in the reaction of the mind. So whenever we are facing real life emotions, whenever we are facing real life situations which seem to be throwing us off the balance, the first thing to do is withdraw your senses inwards, observe your breath. How is my breath Is it going fast? Is it going slow? Am I breathing rapidly? And the second thing to continuously remind yourself is, I will not react. I choose not to react. This too shall pass. And this is a very important thing to understand, that everything that we are experiencing in life, good or bad, is temporary, anicca. This is the universal law that Buddha also talks about, that everything that we are experiencing is anicca. Anicca means that which is temporary. It will come, it will rise, and only if we do not react, this too shall pass. So how to deal with real life situations where we are getting out of control or where we think we'll lose our control is to direct your entire attention not on the object that is provoking you, but on oneself. And when we are bringing our entire attention to ourself, what are we observing? Our own breath. With the reminder that I do not have to react. I'm just here to observe. So the next time you are going out of balance, the next time you feel angry, at least spend a few seconds observing the self. At least few seconds to tell yourself, I do not have to react. And even if you react afterwards, at least you have generated awareness of what you have done. In the beginning, it may not be as easy as it sounds, but at least the very fact that you've brought the awareness to your own breath, the very fact that you've brought the awareness of how you're feeling, will slowly and steadily give control to you over your own actions. It is very easy. It is very easy for us to just give in to the feeling. It is very easy to just flow in the feeling and react very strongly. But the one who's meditating is the one who's always aware, who's always observing the self. The only thing that we find common in all photographs, in all pictures, in all depictions of Buddha across the world, if you don't kind of understand what I'm talking about, just go on Google, search the image of Buddha. The only one thing that is common in all images of Buddha across the world is that you will see that the eyes of Buddha are always half closed or half open. Even if you see any image where Buddha is being depicted as teaching, his eyes are always half closed or half open. And what exactly does that indicate? That Buddha was enlightened because he was continuously looking inwards. He was continuously, at all points in time, continuously being aware of how his breath was, what sensations was he experiencing on his own body. The continuous awareness comes by repeating this act of observing the self, not merely in meditation, but every single time we feel out of balance, every single time we feel extremely happy, extremely angry, or any emotion in extreme, we first take a few seconds to observe the self. We first take a few seconds to repeat to ourselves, no reaction, just observe. Even if you are able to achieve those 2 seconds of self-observation before you react, I think that will be a sign of success. Again, it's very important for everyone who is joining us, everyone who is kind of starting on the path of meditation, to understand that the progress on the path of meditation is not rapid. It can take sometimes years and sometimes decades of practice before you start inculcating these practices in real life. But small steps, piano, slowly, small steps take us a long way. So don't give yourself very harsh targets. Oh, I've started meditating, so I'm calm all the time. It's perfectly okay if you're not calm all the time. It's perfectly okay if you have found yourself reacting to real life situations, reacting to real life people who have seemed to piss you off. But what is important for you to be aware of, that before you reacted, did you take out time to observe the self? Did you take out time to ask yourself the question, how is my breath? What sensation do I feel at a physical level? Did you take out the time to remind yourself, I do not have to react? Okay. So again, to answer the question, how should I act when in real life I'm getting angry, I'm getting out of balance, I'm feeling emotional? My answer is, extend the meditation to your real life moments. Before reacting, observe the self, observe the body, observe the breath, reminding yourself, I do not have to react. You may still act, and that action is conscious acting, and that would not be called reaction. Okay? So every single time you're faced with any kind of uncomfortable situation, the first thing we must do is observe the self without any reaction. Okay, we'll again start the session. For anyone who's new to this session, anyone who's joining this video call for the very first time, my name is Vidhi Charya. I'm a lead therapist and a teacher in an organization called Awaken Inner Buddha Yoga, which is based out of New Delhi, India. For most of us who are on this call, they might be familiar to me because they have worked with me either in India or in Europe or in North Africa. We do therapies, workshops, retreats, 1 week back pain workshops, meditation sessions in almost 42 countries. The basic mission statement of this organization when we started back in 2008 was to propagate classical practices of yoga. Wherever I personally traveled, I found there was a huge challenge for us to start explaining to people that yoga is not about physical exercises. Physical exercises do not represent yoga. Apart from that, a new big challenge to the whole industry of yoga is that every teacher, almost every teacher in the last 4-5 decades have come up with new techniques, have come up with new names to actually techniques that were classically being practiced in India for thousands of years. So our mission statement was not to create any new names, not to create any new techniques, not to propagate the idea that we are the creators of what we are teaching. We are not the creators of what we are teaching. Nothing that we teach was invented by us. We are just people who are passing these teachings, and we believe in the old and classical teachings. And we believe that even in times like these old and classical teachings are still applicable to each and every one of us. Okay. So with that thought, with that conversation, if you have any questions, please feel free to write. I'll be answering those questions either now or later on. But we'll start with the breath yoga followed by the meditations. We will do 2 meditations and then a small prayer. The first meditation focuses only on the breath, only on the nose and the nostril area. Whenever we find ourselves losing our calm, whenever we think we have gone out of balance, even if you observe your own breath for 5 minutes by the watch, 10 minutes by the watch, you'll find instantly your mind will start purifying itself. Instantly, will start calming down. So it's a great technique to calm yourself down. Apart from this, practicing breath yoga at any point in time that you have lost yourself is also super helpful in getting your concentration back. So in the first part of the meditation, we'll only focus on the breath. In the second part of the meditation, we'll actually move through the body, scanning the body. What are we scanning for? We are scanning for physical sensations. So if I am scanning the top of my head, I'm asking myself the question, am I feeling like scratching? Do I feel warm? Can I feel the wind? Do I feel cold? What sensation can I feel? Whatever the sensation I'm feeling, important thing that I have to remind myself is that I would not be reacting to the sensation. So if I feel like scratching, will I scratch? Absolutely not. If I'm having pain, will I start moving my body? Absolutely not. One of the key things apart from non-reaction is that we have to learn to become still. If I am experiencing pain, will I start moving? Will I start becoming uncomfortable? Will I start jumping in my chair or in my position? Absolutely not. And then we'll come to the question of what position to take. Please do not take lotus position if you are not comfortable in it. You don't have to sit cross legs, perfectly fine for the purpose of this meditation. You can take whatever position is comfortable for you. You can sit on a chair, you can sit on a stool, you can sit on the bed, you can sit on a sofa. The important thing out here is to keep the spine straight or your back straight. Because the moment the spine goes like this, you will lose your focus instantly. So the only thing I am requesting all of you to do is to keep your spinal column straight. And how to judge that your spinal column is straight or not? A very simple test is your chest open or not? If your chest is not open, your chest is drooping inwards, then your spine is not straight. So focus on the chest, try to open up the chest as much as you can, because as we open the chest, the spine automatically becomes straight. Now we'll start with the 2 breath yoga exercises. These are very important because breath is the signature for the emotions that we are experiencing. It's very important for us to calm our mind down before we start the act of meditation. In the first breath yoga, we'll just take long deep breaths in, we'll hold the breath for 4 seconds, and then we'll exhale very slowly on a count of 1 to 8, and again hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Okay. So please straighten your spine, open up your chest. While we are breathing in pranayama, please remember we do not use our mouth, we only use the nose. For anyone who is having blockages in the nostrils, please avoid the pranayama. You can directly start with the meditation. Okay. So we'll take a long deep breath. Inhale. Take a long deep breath from the nose and hold the breath for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. We are breathing from the nose out completely and hold the breath for 4 seconds out. Inhale. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. Hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Inhale. Take a long deep breath. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. Hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Inhale. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. Hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Inhale. Take a long deep breath. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. Hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Inhale. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Inhale, take a long deep breath from the nostrils only. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale completely from the nostrils and hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Now we'll breathe in and breathe out normally without holding the breath. Just take a couple of normal breaths. Now we'll prepare ourselves for the second pranayam, also known as Anulom Vilom or alternate nostril breathing. This is an advanced version of the pranayam. This is a very powerful pranayam because it brings balance between the Ha and the Tha. Ha is referred to as the sun energy or the right side of the brain. Tha refers to the moon energy or the left side of the brain. It brings balance between high blood pressure and low blood pressure, between high temperature and low temperature of our body. The right side of the brain is responsible for emotional thinking. It is responsible for high blood pressure. It is responsible for heating up of the body. The left side of the brain, on the other hand, is responsible for cooling down of the body. Responsible for low blood pressure. For anybody who is experiencing imbalance in the blood pressure, doing this pranayam for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. As practitioners, some of us also practice it for half an hour alone. So doing it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes or even half an hour is extremely beneficial for all problems of the body. Okay. How to do this pranayam? We'll raise our right hand like this. Okay. We'll fold the first 2 fingers down. Some of us might be doing this. Please don't do this. Please fold the first finger down, second finger down. We'll only be using the thumb and the third finger. Now, important thing is that while I'm directing you to this pranayam, I will myself not be doing this pranayam. A teacher can only guide you into a pranayam. He cannot be doing the pranayam with you. So I will demonstrate it first. So please watch. And then when I'll be guiding you, then you can do it. So we'll raise our right hand. We'll fold the first 2 fingers down. We'll only be using the thumb and the third finger. So we can try practicing this. We can try to close our nostrils like this so that we understand what we are doing. Okay. Now in this pranayam, to start with, I'll place my right thumb over the right nostril and I will breathe in from the left nostril on a count of 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll block both the nostrils. I'll hold the breath or block the breath for 16 counts. And then I'll exhale from the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because the right side is open, I'll breathe in from the right side. On count of 4, hold the breath for 16 counts. And exhale from the left side 1 to 8. Because the left side is open, again I'll breathe in from left 1 to 4, hold the breath for 16 and exhale from the right side. We'll continue to do like this, okay? Important thing to remember is we are breathing in for 4, holding the breath for 4 times more, 16, and breathing out twice as much. We are always breathing out more than we are breathing in, okay? Now please take your right hand and fold your first 2 fingers down. From below the nose area, take your right thumb and block your right nostril, please. Inhale from the left nostril, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Keep your back straight, spine straight. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Keep your eyes closed, back straight. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Keep your back straight, chest open, eyes closed. Exhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both the nostrils. Final retention. Exhale from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we'll keep both the hands down. We'll close our eyes, observe the breath. How does my breath feel after this pranayam? Alternate nostril breathing calms the mind down, balances the right side of the brain versus the left side of the brain. Now we'll take up positions. We'll sit in a comfortable position. It could be on a chair, it could be on a bed, it could be on a sofa. Important thing to remember during the meditation is to keep your spine straight and the chest open and eyes closed at all point in time. Okay. So we'll start with the first meditation, the breath meditation, also known as Anapana in the language of Buddha or Pali language. Okay. Keeping our back straight and our eyes closed. Once again, we'll withdraw our entire consciousness and focus our entire attention on the nose area. Watching each and every breath. How is my breath? How am I breathing? Am I breathing slowly? Am I breathing fast? What is the nature of my breath? Without controlling or changing our breath, we are just becoming aware of how my breath is. How is my breath? How am I breathing? Can I feel the breath entering my nose or nostrils? Can I feel the breath exiting or leaving the nose area? We are continuously becoming aware of how our breath is. How am I breathing? Am I breathing slowly? Am I breathing fast? What is the nature of my breath? As we observe the breath, negative and blocked emotions will keep coming up, keep coming out in form of thoughts, feelings, physical pain, and sometimes extreme physical discomfort. Maintaining the stillness of the body and the mind, maintaining non-reaction to any thought or feeling, will simply bring our attention back on the nose area, watching every breath that goes in, watching every breath that comes out. How is my breath? How am I breathing? Keeping our back straight and our eyes closed, we are focusing only on the nose area. No thoughts, no emotions, no feelings. Thoughts, emotions, feelings will keep coming out as a natural byproduct of meditation. We'll let them come, rise and pass away. We'll keep bringing our attention back on the breath, observing each and every breath. How is my breath? How am I breathing? Am I breathing from the chest area? Or am I breathing from the stomach area? How am I breathing? We will continuously keep driving our attention back on the nose. Continuously our mind will keep trying to distract us by throwing out thoughts, by throwing out feelings. Without giving them our attention, we'll keep bringing our focus only on the breath. Each and every breath. Every breath that goes in, every breath that comes out. How is my breath? How am I breathing? Is the flow of breath strong in the left nostril? Is the flow of breath strong in the right nostril? Can I feel the breath as it touches while entering the nostril? Can I feel my breath as it touches the nostril while coming out? We will keep sharpening our awareness by continuously focusing in microscopic detail on the nose area, watching how the breath flows, how the breath touches the nose, how is the temperature of the breath that goes in, how is the temperature of the breath that comes out. Cold breath goes in. Warm breath comes out. Negative and blocked emotions will keep coming up, keep coming out in form of thoughts, feelings, physical pain, and sometimes extreme physical discomfort. Without any reaction in the mind, without getting distracted by the feelings or thoughts, once again, simply bring the attention back on the nose. How is the breath flowing? Keep following the dance of the breath as it goes in, as it comes out. How deep does my breath go? How deep am I breathing? Without changing the breath, we are only observing the breath as it naturally is. Now, keeping our back straight and our eyes closed, we'll focus our attention on the body. We'll change the focus from the breath, now we'll change it onto the physical body. Starting from the very top, my head area. What sensation can I observe on the top of my head? Do I feel like scratching? Do I feel warm, cold, vibration? What sensation can I experience on the top of my head? We are only observing the sensation, absolutely no reaction. Maintaining our stillness, we'll slowly move our attention down on the front side, my forehead area. What sensation can I experience in my forehead area? Tension, pressure, pain, vibration, or do I feel like scratching my forehead? My eyes, what sensation can I experience in my eyes? As we observe the physical body, the mind will keep jumping out, keep distracting us in form of sounds by throwing out blocked emotions and feelings, desires, aversion. Without any reaction in the mind or the body, we will simply bring our attention back on the body without getting frustrated, without getting angry. Be kind to yourself. Simply come back whenever you're lost. What sensation can I feel in my eyes? Moving down the nose area. Do I feel like scratching my nose? What sensation can I feel? My cheeks. My lips. What sensation can I experience in my lips? My chin. Left ear, right ear. My entire face area. What sensation can I experience? Do I feel like scratching? Warm, cold? Do I feel tension in my face? We are only observing the sensation, absolutely no reaction. Each and every sensation is temporary. It will come, it will rise. And only if we do not react, this too shall pass. Gently moving down below the face area, my throat area. What sensation can I experience in my throat area? Left shoulder. Do I feel pain, vibration, numbness? Without any reaction, we are only observing. Left arm, the area around the bicep muscles, tricep muscles. Left forearm, fingers of the left hand. What sensation can I experience? Right shoulder, do I feel heaviness, pain, vibration, numbness, warm, cold? Any sensation I can experience in the right shoulder? Right arm, area around the bicep and the tricep muscles. Right forearm. What sensation can I feel? Fingers of the right hand. We'll now shift our attention on the front side below the throat area into the chest region. What sensation can I feel in my chest area? Heaviness, warm, cold. Can I feel my heartbeat? Can I feel the fabric on my skin? Below the chest area, up to the navel point, what sensation can I experience in the middle stomach area? tension, pressure, pain, vibration, whatever the sensation may be. As we observe the body, corresponding thoughts and emotions stored in this part of the body will keep coming up, keep coming out in form of thoughts, provocative feelings, physical pain, and extreme physical discomfort. Without any reaction, we'll keep bringing our attention, observing the surface level sensations happening in the body. Below the navel point up to the pelvic floor, what sensation can I experience? Warm, cold, can I feel the fabric? This is also known as lower stomach area. What sensation can I experience here? Tension, pressure, pain, vibration. Each and every upcoming sensation is temporary. It will come, it will rise. And only if we do not react, this too shall pass. On the back side, back part of my head, what sensation can I observe on the back part of my head? Do I feel like scratching, warm, cold, vibration? We are only observing, absolutely no reaction in the mind or the body. Back part of my neck and shoulders. Do I feel tension in my neck, pain, vibration, tightness? What sensation can I feel in the shoulders along with the neck? We are only observing the sensation, absolutely no reaction. Upper back area, including the shoulder blades. What sensation can I experience? Middle back area. Is my back straight? Is my chest open? What sensation can I experience in the middle back area? Thoughts shall come and thoughts shall pass if we choose not to react to the thoughts. Without losing our focus, we'll stay on the body, completely focused. Lower back area. Is my spine straight? Do I feel pain, tightness, warm, cold? What sensation can I experience? My left thigh. Do I feel pain, vibration, numbness? Has my thigh gone to sleep? Pain is a very essential part of this meditation. Without fighting the pain, we'll accept it. We'll observe pain or any other occurring sensation without any reaction. It will come, it will rise, and only if we do not react, this too shall pass. My left knee, what sensation can I experience in the left knee area? Left shin, the area between the knee and the ankle. Left ankle, toes of the left foot. Similarly, my right thigh. What sensation can I experience in my right thigh? Do I feel pain, numbness? Has my thigh gone to sleep? We are only observing, absolutely no reaction. Right knee area. Right shin, right ankle, toes of the right foot, my entire right leg. What physical sensation can I feel or observe? Gently we'll shift our attention to the toes of the left foot. Scanning the body upwards, left ankle, left shin area, left knee, left thigh, my entire left leg. What sensation can I experience? Toes of the right foot, right ankle, right shin, right knee, right thigh. Am I able to observe what sensation can I feel in my entire right leg? The mind will keep throwing us away out of our body in form of external sounds, thoughts, feelings, physical pain, extreme physical discomfort. Without losing our focus, without losing our consciousness, we'll keep focusing on the physical body. Moving upwards above the legs, on the front side, lower stomach area, from pelvic area up to the navel point, lower stomach area. What sensation can I experience in this part of my body? Middle stomach area, from the navel point up to the chest. My entire chest area. What sensation can I experience? Fingers of the right hand, right forearm, right arm, right shoulder. Fingers of the left hand, left forearm, left arm, left shoulder. What sensation can I experience? Moving upwards, my throat area, my chin, my lips, my cheeks, my nose, my eyes, my forehead, my ears, my entire face area. What physical sensation can I experience? Do I feel like scratching my face? Do I feel the wind, warm, cold, vibration. We are only observing the physical body, physical sensations. Absolutely no reaction. On the back side, lower back area, is my back straight? Do I feel tension, pressure, pain, vibration? What sensation can I experience? Middle back area. Do I feel tension or pressure in my muscles, my spine? Upper back area, including the shoulders, including the neck region. Do I feel tension, pressure, pain, vibration? What sensation can I experience in the upper back area? Back part of my head, all the way up to the top of my head. What sensation can I experience? Do I feel like scratching my head? We'll start flowing faster this time to scan our entire body. So flowing downwards, my entire face area, what sensation can I experience? Throat, left shoulder, all the way down to the fingers of the left hand. Right shoulder, flowing all the way down to the fingers of the right hand. What sensation can I experience? Throat, chest area, middle stomach, lower stomach area. On the back side, back part of the head, back part of the neck and shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back area. Left thigh, left knee, left shin, left ankle, right ankle. Toes of the left foot, toes of the right foot. Continuously scanning the body upwards, toes of both the feet, ankles of both the feet, shin, knees, thighs. Lower stomach, middle stomach, chest, left arm, right arm, throat, face area, lower back, middle back, upper back, back part of the neck, back part of the head, all the way up to the top of the head. Continuously, non-stop, keep flowing through the body, starting from the top, scanning the body all the way down to the toes. Non-stop, continuously keep flowing upwards, scanning your entire body, starting from the toes, flowing up all the way up to the top of the head. Keep scanning your entire body in this free flow from top to the toes, from the toes all the way up to the top of the head. Keep scanning your body. We'll slowly bring awareness to our toes, ankles, knees, thighs, lower back, middle back, upper back, left arm, right arm, back of the neck, back of the head, all the way up to the top of the head. We'll slowly raise our palms above. We'll bring them in Namaskar Mudra. We'll place the palms in front of our chest. We'll close our eyes. For the final prayer, we'll open up our chest, close our eyes. This prayer is also known as Mangal Maitri or Metta Bhavna. It is all about sending good energies. I'll say the prayer in English wherever you are. Say the prayer line by line after me loudly. Do not shy away from saying the prayer. Do not feel embarrassed. If you're surrounded by people, I would suggest saying the prayer loudly in your heart. Keeping our eyes closed, palms in Namaskar Mudra. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone in my life. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of their suffering. May all beings share my happiness. May all beings share my achievements. I am the energy of this universe. We'll rub our hands together, visualizing the energy of sun. Wherever in the world we have visualized the energy of sun, keep rubbing your palms together. And then we'll place our palms over our eyes, the third eye energy center, Ajna or Agya chakra. We'll visualize the warm radiant light of the sun flowing rapidly into our third eye energy center, removing all our anxiety, all our fears, filling us with infinite calm, infinite peace, healing each and every cell of my body. We'll slowly move our palms down to the throat energy center. We'll place our palms. I keep visualizing warm, radiant light of the sun flowing rapidly into the throat chakra, healing us, giving us the power of expression, ability to speak from the truth, higher creativity, removing all our inner sadness, all our fears. We'll move our palms down into the center of the chest, the heart chakra. We'll place our palms. Keep visualizing warm, radiant light of the sun flowing rapidly into the heart energy center, filling us with infinite love and compassion, infinite forgiveness. I forgive everyone in my life. May all beings be happy. We'll move our palms now onto the navel point energy chakra, also known as Manipura chakra. Keep visualizing warm, radiant light of the sun flowing rapidly into this energy center, healing us, healing all the organs associated with this energy center, removing all our insecurities and fears, filling us with infinite self-love, self-appreciation, self-confidence, high self-esteem. I love myself. I am so beautiful. Below the navel point where we wear the belt, just above the pelvic area, we'll place our palms here. Keep visualizing warm, radiant light of the sun flowing rapidly into this energy center, healing all the organs associated with this energy center, filling us with infinite love, infinite abundance, infinite feelings, happiness, joy, infinite creativity. We'll slowly split our hands, Move the left hand along the left thigh, right hand along the right thigh, all the way to the knees, ankles, toes. Relax. We'll slowly open our eyes. Thank you so much for everyone who's a part of this session. Thank you so much for coming online. If you have any questions that you might want to ask, I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you might have. Any questions, any feelings that might have popped up during the act of meditation, or any other question that you might have while practicing this meditation by yourself, I'll be very happy to answer any such question. Please feel free to ask the question, and thank you for taking out this time so that you could come together to meditate with so many people from around the world. Thank you, Shashank, for joining in the session. It's perfectly okay, no problem. Thank you, Shabnam, for joining in. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Sarita Ji, for joining the session. Thank you, Fatma. Thank you, Kevin. If any one of us has any questions, please feel free to ask the questions. Once again, my name is Vidhi Charya and I work for an organization called Awaken Inner Buddha Yoga. We do conduct therapies, we do online therapies, mental therapy work, one-on-one. We do classes, both group classes and one-on-one classes, online as well as offline. We do workshops and retreats in more than 42 countries around the world. If you have any questions, any queries, you want to set up any kind of therapies for yourself, please just go on our website, Awaken Inner Buddha. It's very easy to find, and just use the contact form to just write us an email, and we'll be very happy to respond to you. Now if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. You can also share any feelings that you might have experienced during this session. I'm waiting for anyone who might want to share anything or might have any questions in regards to their practice. Thank you, Elvira, for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Juvile. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin says, do the hands need to be in a Om sign, thumbs and index together or hands together? Kevin, I'm not sure when exactly for what part of the meditation are you asking that the hands have to be in Om position. There is no Om position. The only position meditators do sometimes is this position, So this is not exactly an Om position. This is a position for meditation or concentration. When the thumb and the first finger come together, it kind of directs the pranic energy towards the head, which kind of helps in concentration. If you want to kind of put it during the meditation, it's good. If you don't put it, it is still good. No problem. Some people believe that putting this together in meditation helps you in concentration. If you feel like that, you can do it. There is no restriction on this hand position. And you can also do this while doing pranayam. So if, for example, I'm using my right hand for, kind of controlling my nostril and my breath, then my left hand could be in chin mudra. This is not called the Om sign, but it's called the chin mudra. Chin like the chin of the face. So it's like the chin mudra. Mudra means this movement of the hand. So this is called chin mudra. You can do the chin mudra during the meditation, or you can do the chin mudra during breath yoga as well. Thank you, Christoph, for joining the session. Very nice to have you again. Thank you, Mirella. Mirella asked the question, is this the meditation you recommend the most? Mirella, this meditation is a very powerful meditation. Actually, one of the most powerful meditations that I have personally come across. Do I recommend it to most? Yes, I do recommend it to most. Will most be able to do it? Absolutely not. This path or this practice of meditation is for the one who's slightly more evolved in their spiritual work. What I mean by that is there are different kind of evolutions that happen when you are working in the field of spirituality. One kind of evolution that happens for people who are extremely emotional, not intellectual or not very much driven by their thoughts, but they're driven too much by their emotions, is that they find it much more easier to say chant the name of the God or to sing in the name of God. That kind of practice is called bhakti yoga. For people who are highly emotional, they cannot rationally think immediately when they are experiencing a lot of feelings or emotions. That kind of path is far more easy. They keep chanting the name of the God and they kind of get lost in this chanting, and for them that path works much better. This practice of meditation is the one who is more intellectual, the one who is always seeking very firm questions and answers, the one who is not afraid of looking within oneself. Even though it might sound very easy, a lot of people get very uncomfortable in observing the self. For them it might be easy chanting God's name, it might be easy chanting this or that chant, it might be easy for them to stand in front of a statue, it might be super easy for them to visualize rays of light coming inside the body, this sign formation, that sign formation. So there are many different forms of meditation, depending on your temperament, depending on whether you are more emotional or more intellectual or more evolved or less evolved in your own spiritual path. This meditation may work or this meditation may not work in the case that you end up reacting a lot, So even though we talk about non-reaction, we have also found that people who are not prepared for this path, they get super uncomfortable while doing these meditations. And they are not able to accept themselves in the form that they're not able to accept whatever is happening on their body without any reaction. They have a tendency to react to everything that keeps coming up, and they think it is the fault of the path, it is the fault of the meditation that they are more angry. Once upon a time I was teaching this meditation in Lithuania, and after the meditation there was a very nice woman, and the first thing she said after the meditation finished was, "I'm very angry. I want to abuse everyone." Now what exactly happened? She actually thought that it was the meditation that was bringing up this anger. But that's not true. She always held anger within herself, but the meditation opened up the gates for this emotion to be released and come up. Now, if you are not guided in this meditation, a lot of misconceptions can occur, a lot of misunderstanding can occur. So coming to your question, is this the meditation I recommend to most? Yes, I do. Will most be able to do it? I absolutely think not. So depending on your own temperament, depending on how you feel in doing such meditations and how much do you connect to it, if it makes you feel really good and you think you have the ability to self-reflect. The ability to self-reflect is not an easy ability. The ability to see, what am I experiencing right now? How am I feeling? Can I choose to see it without any reaction? Is a very evolved ability in my understanding. It is not something that everybody can do very easily. Everybody can do it, everybody can benefit from it, but some of us can also react very strongly, and in this process some of us can be very unkind to our own self, and we might believe that, oh, this meditation is just making me more angry. Okay, but if you keep observing, everything that we are holding on to simply comes, rises and passes away. So it's an act of purification. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. If not, you can still write to me. I'll be very happy to answer that in detail. Thank you, Helena, for being a part of the session all the way from Greece. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Fatini, for joining us again. Namaste. Thank you, Alessandra. Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa says, will you do other sessions? Vanessa, in the coming week, I think we will be repeating it on the same days, Wednesday, Friday and the coming Sunday. We'll kind of leave a notification on the Facebook page. So make sure that you're following the page or you kind of check into the page. We'll be repeating these sessions again, 2 sessions a day on Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. We'll just check the dates again and we'll update everyone on this. Kevin says, I do feel very peaceful when I do this meditation. It's like I kind of go somewhere else. Kevin, till the time that somewhere else is your own physical self, it's okay, it's great. But if you go somewhere else outside of your body, then bring your awareness back. That's the only thing I would like to say. If being inside of your own body, we feel awesome, we feel great, we feel very nice, it's a great feeling. But if during the meditation, sometimes, we fantasize things and we kind of disappear somewhere else. If this someplace else is outside of a body, then bring your awareness back. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Mirella, for coming in. Thank you, Yoko. Yoko, you'll have to clarify, what do you mean by a short time? Are you referring to repeating the meditation for, say, just 1 week, 1 month, 1 year? Or by short time, you mean that in one single session, you meditate only for 5-10 minutes? If you can clarify that, I'll be very happy to answer your question. Is this effective even for a short time? I'm not sure what that question really means. Are you referring to a single session, or are you referring to repeating of the practice over a short period of time or long period of time? Please answer that question. I'll be very happy to answer your question. If you have any other questions, feel free to write to us at awakeninnerbuddha@yahoo.com. You can search our website. If you want to kind of engage with us in form of one-on-one sessions, classes, feel free to write to us. We'll be very happy to accommodate you. Yoko, these meditations do not work for 5 minutes. They do not work for 5 minutes. If you work so short, then this is also a way of you telling yourself that I have only 5 minutes for myself. Again, as I said in the beginning of the session, whatever time you spend in this meditation, you spend that time onto yourself, purifying your own consciousness, purifying your own mind. Now, important question to ask is it important to purify? If you have eaten food, is it important to go to the toilet? If I don't go to the toilet, what will happen to me? Maybe one day I will not go to the toilet, maybe 2 days I will not go to the toilet. But by the 3rd day, either I need to go to the toilet or I will fall sick. Similarly, we have been consuming millions of thoughts, millions of emotions all the time. Now, if you take out only 1 minute or 5 minutes to start this purification process, you will find that even before it has started, 5 minutes will be over. Even though my intention is for all of you to just meditate 15 minutes on the breath, most of the times this session we are able to meditate sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 25 minutes. When we are focusing on the physical sensations, my intention is to make you meditate only 15 minutes. But most of the times we are kind of going beyond 15 minutes. What does this indicate? That sometimes just to bring our concentration in one place, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort to even calm the mind down to observe the self. So these meditations are not 5-minute meditations. There might be a lot of meditation, so-called meditation teachers. We find a lot of people who are not meditation teachers actually teaching meditation online, which is quite dangerous. And they are propagating an idea that 5 minutes of meditation can bring your life back to normalcy. That is absolutely not true. Meditating is directly working with the mind, and it is quite difficult to work with the mind in a very short period of time. Even now, if you have started on the path, it will take you days and months and sometimes even 6 months to start understanding this practice. And then as we progress, we learn to meditate in every moment of our life. Even while I am talking to you, I am meditating. Okay, so you don't start these practices with very short periods of time. What I am doing out here with most people is a short time. This is half an hour to 45 minutes. This is already a very short period of time. When we personally learn these practices, we go in 10-day retreat programs, sometimes even longer retreat programs, 11 hours a day, absolute silence. So 5 minutes will not cut it because your mind is way too complex. I hope I have answered your question sufficiently. Agostino, thank you so much for joining us. It's very nice to have you here. Thank you for taking out this time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll be signing off now. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop us an email, send us a message. We'll be very happy to answer questions. If you like us and you like our work, please encourage us by dropping your comments, your reviews, your feedbacks. Every positive word that you write for us encourages us to do more sessions. We are available on TripAdvisor, Awaken Inner Buddha Yoga. We are also available on Google. Just search us. I will also be posting the link along with the video. So if you like us, you can encourage us by just dropping some positive words. It kind of encourages our entire team to kind of say, let's do some more sessions. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day. Have a happy Easter in the Romanian and the Eastern European part of the world. Take care of yourself, be happy, and please, as much as possible, try to do namaskar or namaste instead of shaking hands, instead of kissing and hugging, and keep yourself safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of their suffering.